Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy spring month, right? The first week of spring month. Hello. Hi, my breast pump. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Laurel. I'm about to connect my breast pump. Just hold on. What a good morning. Just want to connect her quickly. Coffee. Hope you guys are also having your own coffee because it's coffee conversations this morning.
Morning.
And hello, how are
Hi.
you?
Very good this morning. Thank you.
Good. Happy spring month.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yes, I love it. Now I'm beginning to enjoy it. I'm
Well, it's
beginning to enjoy it. It took some time for me to do that, but I am beginning to warm up to it, bit by bit.
so today is the first time we chatting without me having a heater on under the table. So this
Are
is
you still
definitely
feeling
time to
cold?
check.
Are you still
Sorry?
feeling cold? Are
No,
you
I
still
don't
feeling?
have a heater for the first time.
Oh, for the you don't have it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, actually it's a bit warm today.
It's lovely.
It depending where you are actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
how I just wanna put my comment. How are you coping?
So just
Let's
another thing to add is that
okay.
this month is NICU Awareness Month. So it's just being aware
Wow.
of parents who are in NICU.
Yes.
Yeah, so quite important, like supporting them and helping them out. And then in
Yes.
November, it's Premier Awareness Day, World Premier Awareness
Wow.
Day. So I'm going to be doing something for that.
Yes.
I lost you for a second. Yeah, so
Yeah.
so yeah, so that's just something I wanted to mention because we do a lot with the Bonding Hearts and
Yes.
breast milk donation. So it fits in all nicely with the theme of the month as well.
Yeah.
Before we
Oh,
get going on
okay.
our topic, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. So it's
yeah,
Nuki Awareness Month,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. So
Okay.
it's also that's also looking at all the staff that work in
Yes.
NICU and not just the parents and the babies. But yeah.
Right, exactly. So we have, I was just thinking now a few minutes ago that we probably have, maybe gather some few donations for this month and with
Mm-hmm,
regards to the Bonding Hearts. And
mm-hmm.
then just to call on people and also make it more publicized in a way that it's about Nuku month. And then from my side, I think I'm passionate about giving, so
Mm-hmm.
obviously I just want to showcase that we are giving towards this initiative. So maybe
Yes,
let's do something around that, Carrie, for this month.
definitely. For sure.
Drive
For
it,
sure.
and yes, let's drive it hard. Because I was also because my in-laws were also having some gathering, like a small gathering with regards to just trying to celebrate the wedding
Mm-hmm.
of another relative. And one of them did mention that they had a premature baby and was so tiny, but the baby is running around. So already the baby is like all grown, but by that time he was so small. And I was like, and the lady who told me this told me a story that actually the child could not even breastfeed because
Yeah. So
he
little.
was really quite small, and the only way they could give him milk was through a teaspoon, using a teaspoon. um so I mean, those are the had they known, and had we had I mean, at that time, should if we had
Yeah.
known about, or they had known about donated breast milk, it would have worked better for the child,
Yeah.
because they tried the breast milk, it didn't work, so obviously they gave formula. You get what I'm saying? So also that awareness. I would, I love the fact that we can teach our,
Yeah.
our families around it, or
I
even
guess.
share more information about it, because people possibly did not even know about donated breast milk. Yeah.
No,
So
totally.
I think let's drive it. Let's drive it together with also donating breast milk. So, and we are talking about coping today
Yes. So how are
in
you
COVID.
coping?
Oh, I promise you, Carrie, for me is it was a little bit hard with regards to the COVID. I find myself, yes, coping in a positive way, but sometimes you just like, oh my God, when will life really get to normal, to
Yeah.
being normal? Because
Yeah.
I mean, also meeting your friends, meeting your friends and family, you can't meet them as often or as you used to, you know.
You can't hug them. Yeah.
Yeah, and it becomes so hard with the mask, with the sanitizing. Sometimes you feel like you're overdoing it, and sometimes you feel like you're not doing it like you're
Enough.
underdoing
Yeah.
it, you know, you're not doing enough of it. And
Yeah.
you know, you don't know if you're really protecting your family with regards to this COVID, you know.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're doing 100% job, but you can trust that at the end of the day, what you're doing, it's worth, you know, it's doing the work. It's doing the work of protecting your family, especially with my daughter. Shame, I also feel for her, and because she is at the point where she just likes hugging everybody. Hi, Laurel. Hi, Gesson. So she's at the point where she just loves hugging people, and she wants to meet other
Yeah.
kids. You know, when other kids are passing by, you know, you can see that she wants to mingle. She wants to touch the other babies. On TV as well, you know, when the babies are like shown on TV, she wants to touch the TV and say, "Oh, Nana," you know, and
Yeah.
become
Cute
so
man.
excited about that. So I really feel for her, because you can't really do the touching too much. You can't do the hugging. She doesn't know that social ability is being limited
Yeah.
because of this COVID. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I
No,
guess
totally.
in that, yeah. So in that sense, for
Totally.
my daughter, I really feel for her, because she just wants to hug. She just wants to kiss people and say, you know.
You want
And
that, you know? Yeah.
yeah, and she can't have it like 100%. That's the, you know,
Yeah.
that's the only predicament. I mean, downfall about this COVID, especially for her. Seeing
Yeah.
her, I'm not seeing her doing that as often as she wants to, because she's a loving baby. She just wants to hug and love everybody.
No, she's very cute. No, I know. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah. So I guess for me, yes, it's sometimes up and then sometimes down.
Mhm.
Where, you know, you coping, and sometimes you're like, no, I don't know if I'm really doing enough as well. Are we okay in the family? You know, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yourself, how would you say
So
you cope?
I'm going to be very honest, and I
Yes,
must say I have had the worst week
yeah.
possible.
Wow.
So yeah, so it all boiled down to me hurting my back this week. And I
Oh,
think it was so sore. I think it was the last straw. Like, you know, I'm running a business, and
yes,
we importing products, and
yes,
the rand dollar exchange rate has gone crazy, and
yes,
I'm all about like making breast pumps affordable for moms, and
yes,
just watching that US dollar rise while we importing products has been so stressful. Um,
yes.
we started renovating our house in February, which is the
I
worst
remember you
possible
said,
time to have
yeah.
started.
Mm.
Currently, I do not have a kitchen. I don't have a stove. I don't have an oven. We have one working toilet. It is terrible. Like working from home with banging and just the dust and just
Yes,
things not going out right. And because it's COVID, they don't have stock, or it is just it is let me just say it's rough. It just
yeah,
has been quite rough. And
yeah.
I've seen this with my clients, but now it's happened to me, if that makes
Um,
sense.
yeah.
So if I go and help a breastfeeding mom, she's just gone through a pandemic, given birth, and now struggling with breastfeeding. And my heart goes out to them. Like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, because these moms, when they phone me, they are crying. You know what I mean? They've just been pushed past their ability, and they're like, is it normal? Is this normal? And the truth is, it's not normal. Their response to what's going on is normal, but having to deal with a pandemic and not being able to have your mom around to help you, or your best friend come and have a cup of tea and see and chat to you and just say, okay, my love, let me hug you, they are so isolated. And it's so hard, and it's so much more difficult. I even said to a client this week, before my back went out properly, I said to her, it's okay, you can cry with me. Like, I am a safe place. You can cry. You, no judgment, just cry, let it all out. Because they don't have that mother to hug them, or, and the husband is also dealing, or the partner is also dealing with all this pandemic, and now wife or partner is in pain, and it's so much emotion, and it's so difficult to like work through it. So yeah, and then also like with myself, having a mom who's really struggling, she's on my mind all the time, like I WhatsApp and I check up, but you can't WhatsApp too much, because then you're bossy and nosy and too pushy, and so you want to know. It's quite a delicate line.
And you're causing them to worry more.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a very delicate line. So it's like, how are you? And like, I want to know how the mom's doing, because I need to know, do we need to intervene more, or is she okay? You know what I mean? So it's quite an emotional, my dog's going to bark. My dog's running in the background. It's quite an emotional, like, roller coaster happening. And then I picked up a gas bottle, because we don't have a stove, and I put my back out. And I promise you, I've done it before, so I knew what I was in for. And I was stuck like this, and I couldn't go like that, and I couldn't go. and it was so painful. So I knew what to do. I did the heat and whatever and all of that, and it didn't get better, and it just got worse. And like, it just spasmed. And then I phoned a physio, and I said, like, can you see me today? Like, can you see me right now? Like, I need you. Like at 8 in the morning, very inappropriate. But I waited for 8 o'clock. I could have phoned at 6. Anyway, and she said to me, I'm really sorry, I can only see you at 1. And I just burst into tears. I couldn't imagine waiting that long for help.
Yeah.
And the most beautiful thing happened, because she's a new physio. My physio has left Joburg, so I needed to find somebody new.
Somebody else, yeah.
And I walked into her practice. Well, I hobbled into her practice. And she looked at me and she said, what's going on in your life? And I explained to her, we're renovating, running a business, like children, everything.
Yeah.
And she said to me, I don't want to negate how much pain you're in, but you are crying because it is more than the pain. It is COVID. It is everything that you're going through. And in that space, I felt so loved and protected and cared for. And I think coping with COVID, we need to understand that this is huge. Like, you might be okay today, but then tomorrow you stump your toe and then you just bawl your eyes out, if you know what I mean. And I'm so grateful that somebody looked at me and said, you're going through a lot. And yes, the pain is probably
your back. Yeah, it's just not your back. Yeah.
Yeah, and that, the straw that breaks the camel's back is like, yes, you have to be strong. I mean, you've got kids that you're homeschooling. You've got kids that are coping with unnatural relationships because you can't go and hug and you can't have a play date, So actually on Friday, my daughter had her first play date since March.
Wow.
It's not normal. It's not natural. It's just not. So, and even in the play date, they were giving each other virtual hugs. And my heart, they just want to hug each other. They just want to touch and they just want to play. And they didn't. They were actually really good. They like played in the garden and it's obviously not proper social distancing, but it's one-on-one. So I think it's okay. But just seeing all of that is so much. And I think we really need to take stock and realize that if you're snapping at your children or your partner, or, you know, if you're getting road rage in the car or whatever it is, we need to like sit down and realize that there's so much more going on than what we
It's
normally would
more
deal
than
with and
that.
cope with. And I must
It's
say, being the woman of the house, you doing the meals, you doing the children, you're doing your business, you're doing so much more, with
yes,
possibly less support because you can't get it. And I
yes,
think we need to take cognizance and realize that, you know, it's hard, and it's okay to
yes,
be not okay. And we see that on Instagram and
yeah,
we see those posts, and I wonder if we ever really take them in. Like, it's okay to be not okay.
yeah,
It's okay to say,
yeah,
this week was a hard week. This was my hardest week. This,
yes. And I
and
can't
to throw
cope,
in the
or
mix of a
I'm not
bad
coping
haircut.
at this moment. No, I love it because it has bangs and it's
Yeah,
not
no, no,
all
no. But
straight and whatever.
I
I look
actually, I went
okay.
back. I went back to the salon and I
Yeah.
said, I'm really not happy. So they colored my hair and they've laid it a bit more, but we have to wait for it to grow out. So for people who don't know, is I went for a haircut because we're doing a photo shoot together and they cut it
Yes.
short and I wanted layers. I was so upset.
No, she
All in the
couldn't
same
cope,
week.
guys. Like she literally was not. She sent me a picture, and I could see on the picture like this woman is not happy with her.
No, but I think it's coming along. I'll get used to it. I'll learn how to style it because it was long. Anyway,
Yeah,
so like silly things like a haircut, your back out, you know, like all, whereas normally
yeah,
if I didn't like my haircut, it'll grow back. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah.
never been, but I think it was just an amalgamation of so many things happening in one week.
That
And
is so
we need
true.
and we need to
Mm,
look after ourselves. We really do. And it's so hard at the moment. Like, how do
yeah,
you look after yourself? If
yeah,
you want to go for a pampering, you're being touched by someone, or, you know, your nails or your, you know,
yeah,
massage or whatever. So it's so really difficult. So
yes. And you tend to, like I said, the stress of it is, am I doing enough to protect my family, and am I doing enough to even protect myself?
yeah,
um but you can only do so much and hope for the best as well.
yeah, no, true.
Do all you can, but hope for the best. Also,
Yeah,
it's like you're putting your hope and your faith out there that you will be protected,
yeah,
and you will be fine, and whatever situation that you might find yourself into, um, you are able to cope. And I think that's where the mental health situation comes in, and that sometimes when we're not coping, and it's okay to say, look, I am
yeah.
not coping, I'm not sure if I'm doing enough. um, because, and you're right, all these things, they happening not only because you are having a problem at work, or you are having a business situation whereby the rent exchange is ridiculously bad.
And I
uh,
can't do
you know
anything about it.
and you
There's
can't do anything
nothing,
about it. Yeah.
there's nothing I
And
can do about it. I can just watch.
exactly. You
Yeah,
can only watch, and but the fact that you're only one person and you're taking all of these things, then they become stress,
yeah,
and they affect your body at the end of the day. Um,
yeah,
and there's a point, and I was telling a friend of mine that sometimes these things happen all at once, and they push you at a corner and you find yourself crying because maybe we're not listening to the fact that, oh, I got to take a break. I
yeah,
have to just hand over, and that serenity prayer. God, give
yeah,
me the strength. What is it? Whatever I can control, let me control it. Whatever I can't control, I hand it over.
yeah,
Yeah. So I think we just need to get to I've learned also to get to that point that there are things that maybe I can't control, because also my business is highly affected with coronavirus. You have to really
hmm,
rethink, and to protect your customers, you have to spend money, and where you're going to
yeah,
get the money to spend, and make sure
yeah,
that the
yeah,
protection is there. So
totally,
yeah, so it's kind of
totally.
stressful. You somehow being you want to move forward, but it's like, slow down, don't even, sometimes don't do anything. Sometimes don't do anything. And
This week I did nothing.
you know what I'm saying?
I lay
And
on
it's
my
like,
back. Yeah,
you see, and sometimes hurting your back and also, crying in the toilet. It's like, oh my God, I'm having enough.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
having a lot, and I just need to take a break and just, not stress about the things that I can't control. I can't control the rent exchange rate. I
no,
can't control the fact that, my baby can't go to the public malls and just stroll around and play with other kids,
yeah,
those kind of things. And you can only limit, I mean, we are limited as human beings at a certain point. There's things that we can't do, and there's things that we can do. Hi, Les.
no, totally.
And I think we have to get to that state. And I was telling a friend of mine that, you know what, sometimes when you feel like you're not coping, you're not doing well, talk. There's nothing wrong with calling a therapist.
Yeah,
You know,
totally,
yeah,
totally.
there's nothing wrong calling a therapist, a friend as well, even your
Yeah,
mom or somebody who's a confidant to you, and just
yeah,
saying, look, I am not doing well, I'm not okay, a whole lot of things are happening, work is hectic, they're
mm,
telling me to travel, they're telling me to do this, the working hours are ridiculous, I have to travel long distance to get to work and to home. um,
yeah,
those kind of things. And home, I'm the only mother, I'm the single parent at home, that my child is dependent on me, and I'm not being paid enough, things like that,
yeah,
or my business is not going well, or my family's finances are not as where I want it to be, or we're taking a downturn, or there is a reduction of salary, 50% cut on my
yeah,
salary. You get what I'm saying? So all of
yeah,
these things happening at the same time, it can literally push you to break down and feel depressed at the end of the
yeah,
day. And sometimes there's no time for listening to your spirit, or at that point to say pause to do your meditation. Sometimes you're just rolling and rolling because you're trying to survive. You're
yeah,
trying to you're trying to survive, you're trying to make sure that you are coping as a person. And then you hit a rock bottom, and at the end of the day, you are allowed and allow yourself to actually call a therapist and say, I need to
yeah,
talk, I need to offload, I need help, I need psychological help, give me ways to cope with all of this.
yeah,
And
totally.
sometimes we don't talk about our problems because we feel ashamed of our problems. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Or sometimes I
Hi,
think we
Jen
don't
Jen.
realize. Hello, hello.
Hi, Jen.
Sometimes I think we are just swimming and swimming,
Yes.
just keep swimming, and we don't realize how much we've taken on. And
Yes.
and maybe you need that pain in the back, like I
Yes.
had, for
Yeah.
you to just burst into tears to
A
say,
shake.
this is too much. Like,
Yeah.
this is too much. But
Yeah.
one of the beautiful things that came out of me not being able to move
Yeah.
was my husband helping me dress. So I find when my back goes out like that, to wear a small heel helps just with the walking, if you know what I
Okay.
mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my boots are the best because they're just the best shoes for it. But I couldn't put them on. Like, I could put, like, putting on socks. I could put on my own pants, but not getting down to the feet. And
Yes.
my
Yeah.
husband was
It's like
helping
when
me.
you're
So
pregnant. When
yes,
you're
it was
newly
just like being
pregnant.
pregnant, like sitting there, like, oh, and then my husband helping me. And my son walked in and he's like, "You're staring at this?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"What?" And I, and I said to him, "Martin, this is real love.
Yeah.
This is real love. This is supporting your partner putting on their shoes
Yes.
because you can't." And I mean,
Exactly.
that, like, my husband has a very important 7 o'clock a.m. meeting every morning. Like, he does not miss that meeting.
Wow.
No, he took
Wow.
the kids to school. He did, because I honestly could not, it would not be safe for me to drive. I couldn't drive that morning. And
Yes.
he
Yes.
didn't even, like, there was not a complaint. There wasn't, oh, can't you just do it? There was nothing like that. It was
Yeah.
just like, let me put your shoes on. I got the kids, and off he went. And
Yeah.
and I mean, that being for the kids to see that support is also very important for me as well,
Yes.
and just to feel supported, and him and I being able to talk it through, and is also very special. Now you're talking about a therapist.
Yes.
A friend of mine is a psychologist, and she's actually running free Zoom sessions on a
Okay.
Friday.
Okay.
And if anyone needs that information, they can DM me, because I don't want to put
Yes.
it. But it's a free Zoom session where they talk about how do you cope with COVID,
Okay.
and
Okay.
helping people, and I've put her information on a lot of the NICU groups that I'm in, for moms just to chat, to dial in and say, I'm not coping with COVID and
Yes.
not being able to see my baby, or this is
Yes.
so stressful. And I
Yeah.
think, I mean, I've seen psychologists in my life, and they don't fix your problem. You know,
Yes.
you don't go in
Yes.
there and get fixed, because I
Yeah.
don't think you're really broken. But what they
Yes.
do is they really help you to join the dots and to connect. I feel like this
Yes.
is, you know, this is all leading up to it, and this
Yeah.
is how I'm going to work through it myself. So it's hard
Yes.
work to go through,
Yes. Yeah.
but there's nothing embarrassing about saying I've seen a psychologist, or I'm currently seeing a psychologist.
Exactly.
They actually are an amazing tool to help you and to move forward. So,
Yeah. And actually,
mm,
because sometimes when you're stressed out, you are so bottled in a sense that you think
mm,
you're the only one with the problems. And then
yeah,
this thing's happening to you, and you feel like a victim most of the time. And I was telling a friend of mine that you just literally need somebody to look at you from a different angle, you know,
yeah,
outside yourself, you know, because once is that is done, because you will then see that, oh, I'm not the only one with the problem. Somebody actually managed to get out of the situation that is similar to mine. Then you start
yeah,
having hope, because
yeah,
you're not clogged up into this dark stress, anxiety, and depression,
yeah,
or mental negative mentality, or something like that, you know. Yeah, and I fully support what you're saying. They just really put the dots together for you so that you
yeah,
can be able to kind of cope, kind of cope
yeah.
with it. Yeah,
And I find that with the breastfeeding moms is
yeah,
like, they will say to me, my baby does this, whatever
yeah,
it is. And I'm like, that's normal infant behavior. And they're like,
yeah,
really? And I'm like, yeah, that's normal infant behavior. And
yeah,
as soon as they understand that this is actually normal, and it's hard work and it's difficult,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
the waking up, babies love to be awake between 11 and 3 a.m. That is
Oh my
their
God.
go
Tell me
time.
about
That's like
it.
party in the crib time, you know. And you know, explaining to moms that expect this. In the first few
Yeah,
weeks, expect to be awake from 11 to 3
yeah,
a.m.
yeah,
Expect that. Then they
yeah,
can cope so much better, because I had a client who was staying awake until that 11 o'clock, and then staying awake until 3, and then just not coping, and just like, wow. And
yes,
just saying to
yes,
them, that's going to happen. Go to bed at
yes,
8, just for two
yeah,
weeks. It's not going to, you know, it's
yeah,
not the end of the world. But being able to shift her sleep and getting that sleep, she was able to cope through to the 3 a.m. and then
yeah,
not be so tired that you couldn't breastfeed, couldn't think straight. You know what I mean? Like if you, so,
yes,
you know, you get
yes.
that tired.
I
Um,
exactly,
and just
and
coping through
again,
it.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. No,
yeah. Go
definitely,
for it.
because I think I also didn't know that much, but I got to understand it with my baby, that literally 3 o'clock we are awake and I'm just busy playing with her or consoling her. She just does. I was looking at the videos previously, and I recorded one of them. I'm like, it's 2 a.m. and baby and I are awake and, you know, chilling and all those kind of things. But literally we forget that actually it's normal that a baby at that time is awake and wanting to play. They just don't like sleeping for
Yeah.
somehow, but you know, they're literally awake. Yeah,
But
I never recovered. I'm still sometimes wake up. I still sometimes wake up at 3 and 4 o'clock
I
in the
noticed.
morning. You know,
I've got the odd
I
SMS or
haven't
WhatsApp from
recovered.
you.
Exactly.
Don't worry, my phone is off. My phone is off, so I don't mind getting messages any hours.
Oh, is it
But
okay?
you know, something else that really impressed on me this week with one of my clients is, she said to
Yes,
me, "Why did nobody say it's this difficult?"
Yes.
Why have none of my friends told me it is this hard?
Yeah.
Am I the only one? And I think, like I said, with COVID, it's just that much more, like it's that much
Yes.
harder. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think as women, we need to recognize that saying, this is difficult, or I'm not coping, or gee, I wish it was easier, to our friends, help them to realize they're not alone, if that
Yes.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I went with my first child, it was really hard having a NICU baby
Of
and then
course.
coming back to work without having my full maternity leave that I had, but I didn't have my baby for most of that time. So, all those feelings and it was really stressful. And my one friend, I can't remember her exact words, but she basically said, it's hard, isn't it? Like, aren't you glad to be at work where you can just have some free time and your mind can just be like, active on adult things and
Yeah.
work things? Like, aren't you glad? And I looked at her and I was like, can you actually say that? Like, are you allowed to say that being a mom? Like, can you actually admit that you enjoy your work now that you have a baby?
Ah.
And it was such an interesting conversation. And I think she opened my eyes to being able to say to my clients, you know, it is hard.
Yes.
Lots of people struggle with this.
Yes.
You are sleep deprived. We under
Yeah.
like, and just the fact that the client of mine was just like, why did nobody tell me?
Yes.
It is quite a poignant thing. It's like, I don't know, when you were struggling, did you think you were the only mom, and all your
Yeah.
other friends were doing
Yes.
beautifully and we're all fine and everything? And I
I, I
think,
I felt the same, and I think that's why, Carrie, I felt it in my heart that I really have to kind of give other moms support,
yeah,
because nobody talks about it. Nobody
yeah,
really say to you, actually, as a first time mom, being pregnant and you're going through the emotions of nursing your baby, this baby blue, what is it, baby blue depression, or a little bit of depression there and there. I struggled with a little bit of that. And
mm,
at the end of the day, because you're a new mom, and I realized that is the new change in your life, for
mm.
somehow you didn't have all this kind of routine, then all of a sudden your life is upside down, this new human being.
He doesn't
Then you,
understand that it's sleep
yeah,
time.
totally. A lot of things change. Your body has changed. You
Mm,
have felt otherwise with I mean, your body have changed, your physique have changed, or how you
yeah,
appear, and emotionally you have changed. Now you are looking after this amazing, beautiful human being, and you're wondering, am I going to be able to
yeah,
cope and help her cope in life? And also
yeah,
because you're thinking for the future, for like it's a whole lot of things that your life is changing around, and you, for somehow nobody tells us how to deal with change, and that kind
yeah,
of change, you get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because I
yeah,
did I could I really agree with the fact that nobody talks about it. And I remember also, I think I've also shared this. I was looking for a support group whereby, can we do yoga as new moms, things like that,
yeah,
so that
yeah,
one can get out of thinking that, I'm the only one who's struggling, just to boost your spirit a little bit, boost yourself,
yeah,
and find a way to cope with the change. So it was really pretty hard, because it's basically a new change in your life that you never anticipated, and nobody
you
really
can't. It's
prepared you for
impossible
it.
to understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm saying that like moms struggle, blah, 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 but also
Yes.
we don't. We also do beautifully, like
Yeah,
we have those
exactly.
beautiful moments and we have,
Yeah.
you make that beautiful birthday cake and you're like, yes, I nailed it, like properly, like there are those moments as well. And I think that is fantastic. And I don't want to take away from that. But
Yes.
when a mother is struggling and when a mother is thinking like, this is so difficult, like, what do I do?
Yeah.
She must realize that she's not the only one who has those worries, like she's not the only one. I've been on the receiving end of putting my kids in the car, screaming children in the car at Cresta, like it was one of those days where I obviously had not packed enough snacks, or I took just a little bit too long, or you know,
Yeah.
I've been the one putting the kids in the car going, get in the car. You know, like one of those, like the eyes starting to twitch. And an older woman put a hand on my back
Hi,
and said, you're doing
Lolo. Hi,
great.
Laurel. They're
Hello.
laughing there.
Because I think they've had it too. And,
Yeah.
an older woman put her hand on my back and just said, you're doing great. And she carried on walking. And I was like,
Oh,
because I don't feel like I'm doing great. Like, I don't want to be this mom who's shouting and
oh
struggling so
man.
much just to get the kids in the car. You know what? You
Yeah.
know when they're in their car seats and they push their legs down and their stomach comes up and you just cannot get it. It was one of those. Like, I'm sure there was snot everywhere and food and whatever. But like, yeah, you learn next time it's a much shorter shopping trip, or you just don't take them, or you take one, not two, or you know, you work
Yeah.
around it. But it's so it like that was really special. Like I've always wanted to be that person to say you're doing well, or
Yeah.
if there's a baby crying in the shops, I never stare, because you know what,
It's
mine is probably going to cry in 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to stare or look at you funny because your child's screaming, because you know
oh
it's
God.
going to happen to me, or it's happened to me already. So
It also happened to me once. I remember I needed to go to the bank, and I took my mom with, and I left them in the car. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna go in 2 minutes and come back. I don't know. I
never
took
two
longer.
minutes.
But I love the women that really comfort you at that time. There was a stranger who came to my mom. It's like, Mommy, is she crying? Don't worry. Don't even stare at people. Don't care about what they're saying. Just comfort your baby. And the lady was so nice, and my mom took her numbers just to say, so that I can say thank you.
Yeah.
And I never knew the lady's number, but I saved her as the stranger who helped with baby. So I sometimes call her and just say, hey, how you doing? Thank you so
Lovely.
much. She's like, oh, how's the baby? Things like that. So it's so amazing. And I really say a big up to those ladies. And it also helped teach me to do the same to other ladies. When the baby's
Yeah.
not, they're not coping with the baby, and the baby's not
Mm.
comforted. You just help. You offer a helping hand and say, "Oh, can I help you? Are you okay? Can I carry you, or grocery, or whatever, something
Yeah.
like that."
Yeah.
So yeah, I never thought I would be that mom whose baby's crying in the mall, but it happened, and I
It
was
happens to
like, you know
everybody. It
what?
happens to
It's just
everybody.
life.
If your baby hasn't cried in the mall, you're doing something wrong. I'm joking. I'm
Yeah,
joking.
but you gotta laugh
Yeah.
about it. You really gotta laugh
Yeah.
about it. Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that kind of support, it's amazing that we need to be there for each other wherever we can. And I was telling a friend of mine, like, don't be find a confidant, somebody that you would literally call and say, I'm not coping,
Yeah.
this is not okay. And I was telling her that even if you call me to do meditation with you via Zoom, let's do that. And I
Yeah.
will literally wake up with you in the morning, or do it with you in the evening, because so that I can help you get out of the situation whereby you feel like you are alone, and you feeling like your world is collapsing. And ideally, sometimes we just have to take ourselves out of the collapsing world, and just because then you find that because sometimes you want to control too much. You just want to control
Yeah.
everything so that everything can go the way you want it to
Doesn't,
go.
yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes life tells you that no, take yourself out of it. Stop controlling everything, and just see things will move on your behalf. Sometimes you just need to allow things to just move and move. Yes, you have to take the responsibility of life. Um, be a responsible adult, but at the same time there's a point where you just say, let me breathe, I need to recharge, I need
Yeah.
to definitely reach. And that's what I told myself this week, that I was doing a whole lot, and Kate was actually out of town. So I'm like, let me take this week to recharge and find
Yeah.
myself, and then be in tune with who I am. And look, at the end of the day, it's rewarding, because the time you get out and go out and do your business and selling and meetings, and you are more in tune. You are
Yeah.
more calm. You are
And I think
less.
people pick that up. I think
Yes, and
people pick
people
that
pick
up on
that
you.
up. Yes.
So if you're more restful and you're more confident in your product,
Yeah.
in yourself, in whatever you're doing, they pick it up very quickly, as if you are hustling and you're just trying to, just trying to make a
Yes.
buck.
Yes.
People can feel that very much. And
Yeah.
so it's very important to like just find yourself.
Yes.
So as a result, I have started art lessons
Ah.
again. So yeah, I'm so excited. So I've always loved to do art and painting, and I really enjoy. Like if you're on my personal Facebook, you'll see that I often buy art.
Yes.
Yeah. So and it's not expensive art always. It could just be like something little, but it's something that catches my eye or something that's interesting. So that's what I'm doing for myself. So once a week, it's on Zoom, and she's taken me back to basics. So
Yes.
this week,
Yes.
with my very sore
Yes.
back, I was
Yes.
drawing like disappearing points, and going back to like the basics and being able to
Yeah.
just be my focus on what I
Yes.
like.
Yes.
And I said to my husband, I'm being very selfish, but like I need to find a way to look after myself.
Yes.
Like I can look after everybody else until my back clicks
Yes.
and falls out of place. I can do it. I know that I can. I'm very capable. I can run the business. I can see my clients. I can promote and do whatever. But I'm at a point now after COVID and all this extra pressure that I need, and it's an hour a week where I focus on my passion, my love. I've always loved
Yes.
art. I've always loved color. And like I said to my daughter, in art you can never be wrong. You can do the technique
Yes.
incorrectly or whatever, but it's what you're seeing, it's what you're feeling. So even
Yes.
if it turns out to be like not the best piece ever, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You just go again and you paint and you create. It's all about the creative and the being part of that moment. So that's the way, like you do yoga, I'm going to do art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I've
Exactly.
also signed up for Pilates because I need to make sure that this back never clicks out again. Oh,
You have to take care of it though. You have to
no,
really.
definitely. But like, yeah, with the whole COVID is like very
Yes.
difficult. Yeah, to find a place. And this physio, I felt so loved and so like protected and like
Yes.
held. Like I don't know
Yes.
how else. She just held me in the space that I needed to be held, and she fixed the back because look,
Yes.
it can move, it can twist, it can do all
I
these
can
things,
see
which is
that.
wonderful. So it's so good to be
Yeah.
able to dance again. But yeah, so
Yes.
it's so important to find that
Yes.
space where you can recharge and you can look after
Yes.
yourself. And
I
COVID, no
was also
COVID, you need that.
yes, you need
Yeah.
that.
Mm,
Ideally, it's like finding what feeds your
mm,
soul, feed
mm.
your spirit, because I think when we focus on our gifts or the things that makes us more passionate about life,
Yeah.
then the more we are able to express more gratitude,
Yeah.
and we feel more joyful as well, um, because we're doing something that lifts our spirit up.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
And you need that.
And over the years I've learned that actually that's really important for me, that
Mm.
taking a break, that 1 hour you're talking about, no, even if it's a day, or having a good meal,
Yeah.
or cooking. Sometimes people are very passionate about cooking, and they cook,
Yeah.
and it feeds your soul because you're passionate about cooking.
Yeah.
You're doing yoga, you're doing exercising, um, you're doing motivational talks, or whatever it is,
Mm.
that feeds your soul. It then takes you out of the fact that you are always in your mind and stressing and being anxious, and in a negative zone. You're always in there. But now, because you're doing something you're passionate about, your spirit feeds from, you you become brighter from inside out. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? Yeah.
It totally does. And also something that it's taken me a while to realize is that you have to do it for yourself.
Yes.
you can't rely on your children to make you happy. You can't rely on your partner to
Yes.
make you happy. You can't rely on your job.
Yes.
You have to do it
Yes.
for yourself. And that is the
Yes.
hardest part.
Oh, that is so
Do you know
true.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you have to say art makes me happy, or gardening makes me
Yeah.
happy, or dancing, or
Yeah.
yoga, or rock
Yeah.
climbing, riding your bike,
Yeah.
whatever it is. This
Yeah.
makes me happy, and this
Yes.
makes me feel like I've achieved, or
Yes.
whatever that feeling you need is. And you
Yeah.
have to do it for yourself. You can't wait for somebody else to do it for you, because it's impossible. You'll never be happy that way. And I don't think you'll cope very well in life if you sit around waiting for other people to do it for you.
To make it.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that's a lesson to learn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think with us humans and women and wives, sometimes we because or even single ladies as well. You're not staying with your boyfriend or anything, but sometimes because your partner is there, you then define them. You put them in such a high uh, uh, pillar, basically, and then at at the end of the day, when there's disappointment, you did this and that and that, but ideally it's about you know building yourself first, your relationship
Yeah.
with yourself, and then your husband and marriage will feed from that, because
Yeah.
you came in this world alone with those gifts, with those passions, with those dreams, whatever it is that you had. You Then it becomes your responsibility to nurture that,
Yeah.
because you are the individual holding that full cup, and however way it overflows, everybody else will benefit, but you got to make
Yeah.
sure that your own cup is filled. You got to make sure
Yeah.
that you are coping mentally, spiritually, emotionally, even mentally. The book As a Man Thinketh as well comes into mind, that you gotta your mind is like a grass. So if you don't prune it or cut it, all these other things are going to grow around it and make
Mm-hmm.
it, there's going to be a lot of growth, but there's going to be things that are not supposed to be growing there that
Yeah.
you need
Yeah.
to cut
Yeah.
out. Yeah. So the same thing with the mind. You got to go to a point whereby you need to a break out of the world in a way. Shut nyana, just shut yourself a little bit and take that 1 hour and filter your mind, cut the grass, prune it nicely, or shape it nicely, shape the flowers, the plants very nicely.
Now
um,
water the flowers you want to grow.
Water the flowers, exactly,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then things like that. And because it goes back to, you are the individual first before you are in this community of people, your husband, your family, your children. uh, or even the job. Sometimes we define ourselves by what we do at work, and when the work retrenches, then you left with who I am. who who
Yeah.
who
Who
am
am
I
I?
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
what am I gifted, what am I here in this world for? And sometimes because we don't listen to our spirit or our emotions when they say stop and ask those questions, then life
Mm.
it throws this huge ball on top of us to actually get our attention and say stop, start asking these questions. Yeah.
Yeah. No, 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 for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
And also, like, my daughter's interested in art, and
Nice.
totally biased, but she's
Runs
very
in the
good.
family.
She's very good. Um,
Wow.
so for me, I want to do the art, and then I want to sit with her on a Sunday and us do art together. And
Yes.
that's like our quality, our special
Oh,
time, because I think
I
with
love it.
COVID, she is needing that one-on-one. You
Yes.
are important, you
Yes.
are quality time. And I
Yes.
feel, I can feel it, the way she's talking and the way she's always next to me and the way she's,
Wow.
she's hinting,
Wow.
mommy, I need special focus, that
Yes.
that I am loved and I'm cared for and whatever. So my
Yes.
idea is that she can see me doing art, and we can do
Yes.
it together,
Together. Yeah.
and we can have our special moment together,
Wow.
and that. So
Yes.
it's also just allowing your passion to flow over
Yes.
to somebody else, and that. So
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, so that is important. It's looking after yourself, and it's like I see it in Instagram. I see them
Mm,
say like a mom, if a mom is finished, she can't look after her children. If she's just, you
yes.
know, I
It's
always
like,
say I'm done. Guys, I'm going to bed. I'm done. Like
yeah,
this
yes.
mommy is done. Like
Done. Tired.
done. I need my sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see it, but I don't know if people really look at it and think, am
Yes.
I looking after myself? How can I? Because I promise you, you don't want to be on the phone crying because someone can't see you immediately because you're
Yes.
in so much pain. You don't want to be in that
Yes.
place, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I should have phoned 2 days before,
Mm,
and not let my back get so bad, but I had to do
yes.
stuff. I had to,
Yes.
So yeah, so we really do need to look after ourselves better
Yes.
and give
Yeah.
ourselves permission to take that time out.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm not saying that you have to go for a pedicure every week, to feel better. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes actually, this is my job for today, going into the garage and
Yes.
getting rid of stuff is also a way of self-care, because when every time I drive into the garage, things aren't falling over, because you can imagine what our house is looking
Yes.
like at the moment. So
Yes.
even going in and just clearing out and tidying up and making it more organized, that's also a way of self-care for me. I like
Yes.
things ordered. I like to know where everything is. And at the moment, oh, that garage is not good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that's also self-care is
Yes.
it's not just going on holiday. It's saying, what do I need to do to feel better? What do I need to
Yes.
do for me to have my mind right? So
Yes.
also, like, having a dirty car for me is,
Yes.
I just feel dirty. And you
Yeah.
arrive at a client and your car's dirty, and I'm just like, oh. So today we are washing the car, because
Yes.
there's no builders making dust, so it'll be dusty by
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, and that's fine. At least I'll have one day of a clean car. So those are other ways of
Yes.
self-care as well. It doesn't have to be a beauty or
Exactly.
a because
Not
if
to
you're
be
only doing
huge
your
and
nails,
expensive. Yeah.
yeah. So if you're only doing your nails, your garage is getting messier and messier, right? And that's
Yeah.
stressing you out more. So you need to clear that out as well. So it's a
Yes.
combination of relaxation and actually getting up and doing something about. I can do nothing about the US dollar
Yes.
rand exchange rate, but I can do something about my garage, like,
Yeah, I get
and
you.
the rate's coming down, by the way. I'm very
Yes.
excited. I've been watching that. So
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Or even taking a walk sometimes in the morning or doing your garden. It's something. I
yeah.
mean, I also like sitting down and watching my repeat of Desperate Housewives. Like I could laugh and because it's so funny. So I love it. So yeah, I watch it so many times, and because I have the DVDs, I'm like, look, you know what? Because I need to clear my mind, let me just
Yeah.
watch it. And after that, I feel so much better. I mean, my husband's like, you're still watching that repeat, But at the end of the day, it makes me feel as to basically it helps me to reboot,
Yes,
reboot
I do that
myself
too.
and
I
yeah,
use TV as
and
well. For some reason, TV
yes.
energizes me. So if I can
Yeah,
watch one
yeah,
episode, I'm like falling asleep. I'm exhausted. I watch one episode and then I'm ready to go again. I don't know what it is,
you
but
see.
I've never been
Yeah.
able to fall asleep in front of TV. So TV energizes me and then I can get going. So
Yes.
yeah, there are different ways. And I think there's different types of self-care. And I think that's also what we
Yes.
need to look at. Like, I've
Yes.
had my cry this week.
Yes.
I've done my cry. My back is better and I need to move on. I can't stay
Yeah.
crying. You can't
Yeah.
stay sad and crying. You need
Yes.
to,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely. And
I'll let you know
reach
next
out.
week how that goes.
Ahmed,
Ah,
reaching out to a friend, even a psychiatrist, or knowing what feeds your spirit, and it's quite important. And also, reading a book sometimes it helps,
yeah,
just so that you get out of the fact that you are trying to control everything and anything everything that you're trying to control doesn't want you to control it anymore.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
one of the things that I'm doing is I need to see my mom and dad.
Yes.
So
I
we're
miss
allowed to
them.
travel now. Yeah, I miss them. So we're allowed to travel now, and my kids are going on to school holiday, and we are not going to be able to walk on most of our house because the floors are being redone.
Okay.
So I've chatted to hubby, and I'm going to take the kids for a week away,
Yeah.
and he's going to stay here, and he's going to shame. He's going to work, and he's going to sort out the house.
Yeah.
And even though we're apart, I think that's the better path to take. Because
Yeah.
then my kids go out, they haven't left really the house for so long, and they can get to see the grandparents, and yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's I'm gonna revive my soul. My husband's gonna have time to work on his work and not worry about like
Kids running
entertaining his
around.
wife. Making sure his wife's
Yeah.
back is fine, like so he can really focus and sometimes time apart is good. And then if possible he's going to join us, but if he can't because of what's happening, because you just don't know, maybe something goes really wrong in the renovations or whatever, then he might join us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but we need, we that's what's going to work for our family. Sometimes it doesn't work for everyone, but
Yes.
um yeah, so you need to work out what's going to help and what you can do practically to make the situation better, because I don't
Precisely.
much more.
Yeah.
Hammering and dog barking is not doing it for me right
Ex but yeah, I mean, that's one way, as a family.
now.
I think you're cutting there, but as a
Oh,
family, you find ways to kind of help each other to reboot. Your husband might at home feel that he can do a lot more and find his time as well, doing
mm,
this project. But at the same time, he's kind of rebooting,
mm,
finding himself. Even yourself going away for a week with the kids, it's okay, and it's one way you can revive your spirit and yourself. You're cutting there, Kerry. Are you okay? Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. It's just the network is a bit bad there. But I also wanted to thank Laurel for posting about breastfeeding. Oh yeah, then I can. Yes, now you're fine.
Sorry, I lost you.
No, I also wanted to talk about breast milk, and I want to shout out to Laurel. She sent me a
Yes.
post. Laurel Samuel, thank you so much for sharing your post about breastfeeding and spreading the word about breastfeeding, and donating breast milk.
Yeah.
We're still on that initiative. You are amazing. Thank you for doing that, and hope you and family are doing so much well. Your son is growing up so nicely. I see him, such a cute baby. So thank you so much, Laurel Samuels, for sharing that info. We're still on the drive for donating breast milk. Please, if you can, do donate breast milk, and do let us know. Yeah, do let us know. I see Instagram is telling me I got 2 minutes left. So we're wrapping up anyway. So
Yeah, we are.
yeah. We're still on the drive for donating breast milk. Let's do it, ladies. And we're helping other families. We're helping other women, other babies to do that. Yeah, and we also still on drive because this month is a NICU baby awareness month.
Hmm.
We're gonna drive the donation of bonding hearts for this month. If you want to support, I think it was like 10 rent per bonding
The
heart,
heart.
but
Yeah, yeah.
I will post it on my story,
Hmm.
so that people can get more information about it. Yeah, when you donate, please send me, just to send us, myself and
Message, yeah.
Kerry and my breast, just to share what you have done, and with regards to that, it would be nice to share it also on our stories.
Awesome.
I love
That's
that.
amazing,
Yeah.
yeah. And also look after yourself. Don't forget to look after yourself, because that's the best way to look after
Yeah.
your family. And to accept help
Yes.
when you need it. That's also Very
Get
important.
some rest, and also get some
Yes.
sleep when the baby sleeps,
Yeah.
you know. It's not a myth, but just go for it. Sleep when the baby sleeps as well. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you so much for
Perfect.
help for a nice conversation. Yeah, it was
Awesome.
such a
Yeah.
beautiful conversation. Yeah, mental health and coping with everything that is happening in our lives. It's so paramount that we talk about these things. And yeah,
Definitely.
hope you have a lovely Sunday and a beautiful week ahead.
Same
Love you
to you. Same
guys.
to you.
All right.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
All
Bye.
righty.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.